I've lost count of how many times I've seen ads for Hero Wars. Those wild, over-the-top animations, heroes charging into battle, bosses the size of skyscrapers, flashy upgrade screens. It's been following me across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, basically everywhere. And every time I passed it by. In my head, it was just another shallow, free-to-play RPG, fun for 10 minutes and then forgotten. But after a few too many friends told me it was actually worth a shot, I decided to find out for myself. Not because I was convinced, but because I wanted to see if there's anything beyond the ads. So if you're like me, skeptical but curious, this is my honest, hands-on breakdown of what Hero Wars really offers in 2025, where it surprised me and where it fell short. Hero Wars is a fantasy RPG from Nexters that's been around since 2016. The premise is familiar. Build a squad of heroes, face down an ancient evil called the Archdemon, save the magical realm of the Dominion. On paper, that's about as standard as it gets. The moment you fire it up, you're dropped straight into campaign mode. It's a guided, story-driven run of short missions where your heroes auto-battle through waves of enemies. Early on, you're just following prompts. Tap here, upgrade this, use your ultimate now. Honestly, I expected a bounce. But here's the thing, somewhere between the tutorial battles and the first handful of hero unlocks, I realized I was engaged. Not hooked yet, but curious enough to keep going. By around level 20, the training wheels finally came off. The game started giving me options, push deeper into the campaign, focus on hero upgrades, dip into other modes. That's when it stopped feeling like a press next to continue demo and started feeling like my game. Now, I played plenty of mobile games where finding a basic menu option feels like a side quest in and of itself. Hero Wars ain't one of them. Energy, missions, daily rewards, your hero lineup, events, it's all right there on the home screen, easy to access. The tone stays light and colorful without being childish, and the cartoony style fits the pace. It's not a jaw-dropper visually, but it's cohesive, readable, and runs smoothly even on older phones, which is a nice bonus. The heart of Hero Wars is its roster. There are over 70 heroes, each with a distinct role. Tank, healer, damage dealer, support, some you'll get just by playing. Others take serious grinding or a well-timed bundle purchase. The strategy here isn't about lightning-fast reflexes. It's about building a squad that works together. Certain meta teams will dominate higher-tier PvP. In fact, there's a whole community around this between the Reddit threads and the Discord chats, but there is room to experiment. I personally like just tinkering with lineups, swapping in odd picks, see if they worked. Sometimes it did, sometimes I failed spectacularly. Either way, it kept things interesting. Here's where Hero Wars really surprised me the most. Even when you log off, your heroes keep collecting rewards. Gold, XP, gear, it all stacks up in the background, so you're not grinding endlessly just to feel like you've made progress. You can log in a couple of times a day, grab your loot, make some upgrades, run a few battles, and get back to life. But if you want to binge play, the game has more than enough modes to fill a session. For someone like me who went in expecting a time sink, flexibility is a big plus. Once I hit level 25, PvP finally opened up and let me test my squad in ranked fights. This is where Hero Wars shows its depth. Guilds brought in co-op bosses and team challenges, though I'll admit the menus were a mess at first. The tower mode turned into my go-to grinding spot. Then there were the events. Some were goofy and lighthearted, while others tied into new hero launches or seasonal events. A lot of them handed out useful rewards, and they rotated often enough that I never felt stuck in a rut. There's also a battle pass style progression track that gives you a nice bonus loot for hitting daily or weekly goals. The best part is that missing a day does not tank your progress. It rewards consistency without punishing life for getting in the way. Hero Wars is free to download and you can play a surprising amount without paying, but it is a business and the monetization is always there. You'll see hero bundles, emeralds, the premium currency, speed ups, and loot boxes for sale. Out of curiosity, I bought a small bundle. It sped things up, faster hero unlocks, more stamina, better gear drops, but it didn't make me invincible. I still lost fights, I still had to grind. If you play completely free, you'll move slower and hit more walls, but you're not locked out of any content. It's more of a convenience boost than a paywall. And I'll give credit where it's due, the game doesn't shove offers in your face every 5 seconds. You can actually play. So if that sounds like the kind of game you'd be into, I dropped the download link below. Give it a spin. Now, it's not all smooth sailing. The unskippable tutorial drags on way too long before letting you finally make real choices. The guild interface can be confusing if you're new. The home screen, while clean, still has its share of flashing icons and overlapping banners vying for your attention. Combat can also feel repetitive, especially outside of high-level PvP. Most battles play out the same way unless you're deliberately experimenting with different lineups. The upside is that the team building tweaks do change the feel of the fights, and once you settle into a squad, the repetition fades into that satisfying progress loop. And if you're looking for live co-op multiplayer with friends, this ain't that. It's more asynchronous interaction, but it still scratches that build and improve itch. I can't review Hero Wars without mentioning Raid Shadow Legends. It's the obvious comparison. Raid is darker, grittier, far more detailed, with over 700 campaigns and deep gear systems. It's also terribly unforgiving, with more grinding and less handholding. Hero Wars feels like the brighter, more casual cousin. It's faster to pick up, it's easier on the grind, and it's more generous to players who just want to check in daily. If you're into hardcore min-maxing and gear spreadsheets, Raid leans that way. If you want something that just fits into a commute or a lunch break, Hero Wars is the better call, and for most casual players, the better fit. I came in expecting a shallow, ad-driven cash grab. What I found was a polished, time-respectful RPG with a satisfying loop, a huge roster of heroes, and enough variety to keep me checking in daily. It's not trying to reinvent the genre, and that's fine. What it does consistently well. For a casual but engaging mobile RPG, especially if you like team building and steady progression without a massive time commitment, Hero Wars is worth a try. If you've been skeptical like I was, I think you might be surprised. The link's down below if you want to check it out for yourself. You can jump in, test the waters, build your squad, maybe lose a few fights like I did, and see if it sticks. And if you've already played, drop a comment, especially if you've gone the free-to-play route, because I would love to hear how far you've gotten without spending. If this breakdown helped, go ahead and like the video, subscribe for more honest takes, and I'll catch you in the next one.